Okay, good afternoon, traders. Good afternoon. My name is Raul Rivera. I'm the founder of themarketprofile.com. Today is September 21st, 2017. Let's get started with today's trading. And before we begin, I just want to let you guys know who have been watching these videos every single day, either through our daily market summary or through the Facebook Live. We have finally gone live with our indicators, and they are available for a 14-day free trial. These will be available for the NinjaTrader 8 platform, and the two indicators we have is the market profile and footprint order flow, as well as the cumulative tick volume indicator. So you guys can go ahead, go to the website www.themarketprofile.com and get your 14-day free trial.
This one we're trying to get long,
pretty
as you can
exciting
see.
stuff. All right, let's get started with today's trading session.
That was the area to get long. This one,
500 futures. The markets did just close about a minute ago.
Pretty much early in the session, we determined that it's probably in a trend.
Every
right?
single day, we
on a
get
P-shaped distribution, on its way higher, probably trades higher.
Usually mutual funds,
B followed by a
or
P.
just traders themselves looking to get out of
find a place to buy it.
To get out
D,
of positions
P,
by the
and
end
P
of
up
the
here.
session. So now we have negative 30,000 total imbalance.
Trending up pattern. Remember,
some pretty heavy
D-shape
selling,
equals consolidation.
And, this actually
P-shape equals trending
difference
up
between
pattern.
buyers and sellers.
B-shape
If we have a negative number, we have more
trending
sellers
down
than buyers.
pattern.
If we have a positive number,
Right, so we're in
more
a trending
buyers
up
and
pattern.
sellers. And if
So
you
the
wanna
idea
know
was
by
to get
how
long
many
at
contracts,
VWAP or TWAP. No range extensions today, so we were trying to get long at TWAP, and this one is just absolutely unlucky. This probably would have been the trade of the day for today. So we were trying to get long right at TWAP, right there. 48.76 was the exact number at that time. The very low of that bar. In fact, let me zoom in for you guys.
A lot of activity. 29,300.
Okay,
is the total number right now.
Right here, the very low
looking at
of
the
that
S&P
bar
500
happens to be 48.78.
If we can
48.78, and I was trying to get long. Two simple contracts at 48.76. Got very unlucky there. All it needed was two more ticks. Come on, crude, you could have done two more ticks on that, but it didn't, and then reversed very quickly to make a high of the day of 49.40.
Reached the 2502.
49.42.
So we were looking for.
So it would have been a spectacular trade, 50 ticks plus trade. But just because of two ticks, we weren't able to really make it. We had pretty much the end of the day here for crude oil.
Compared to all of the activity that we had
sideways
in the overnight session,
after making those new
some of the activity we had.
So crude oil, looks like it wants to continue to go higher.
We had some
this
pretty
post-Hurricane Harvey rally really taking off now. I mean, we traded as low as 45, 80, 46, and now we're all the way at 49. Gain about 3 points in just a few simple days. That's no easy feat. And it just goes to show the volatility that's in the crude oil market. I mean, on any given day, we have 100 plus ticks from high to low. So there's definitely a lot of opportunity to be had in
but they're buying just under 2,500. I had a losing trade in the S&P 500.
Okay, next up we have
trade of the day.
The gold market. This one, I took a trade in this one, perfectly executed.
I mean, it just seemed like we weren't really going to get much here. The S&P 2506 and a quarter was the high
gold
before the open.
Was also an inside day. We can see yesterday we had a D-shaped distribution.
That's about a 5-point range, which is what we
but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about an inside day. Here is the range from high to low in the previous day. Here's the range from high to low. Even right now, this is all after the market developed and everything. And we're still trading inside, so we were looking for the inside day trade.
I really don't know.
Before we traded lower,
right now we're just
we were pretty much this was the profile that we saw early this morning.
That's about it.
Right, so D-shaped distribution. Inside day, we want to be long just below value and short just above value. Now, I didn't want to take a short because this market is super strong right now, so there's no real reason for me to be short. But I did want to be long, so I had two contracts sitting here at 40 to 39.
I took them out,
and I think I made a mistake with this one. I should have gone 41 to 40 rather than 40 to 39.
We really weren't looking to make that much money in these trades. We were looking
green bar, I think, I don't know, it was early this morning. probably half asleep,
catch
and
the low and trying to catch the high.
you know, I put it in the wrong spot, so I missed an opportunity to get long at that area.
To 2 points.
After the market came down into it. Here we can see
that hard to pick
40 to 41 would have gotten me long right on that tail. Traded as high as
very little
46, could have gotten even on just one contract.
If it were a
50 ticks, which really turns out to be about $500 even on just one contract, right? On just one contract. But since we missed that one, I decided to cancel those trades there. I figured, you know what, if we come back to this low, we're more than likely going to trade lower and probably going to go into this value area here. Switching back over to profile view,
on a 4-tick market,
we got a value area low,
very hard to get
and the low of the day here. Not that more than just really used the low of the day. It just happens to be coincidentally this value area also happens to be right there. So, so I took it with a grain of salt and decided to get long between 38 and 36. As you can see, that happens to be the absolute bottom of the day, and markets did trade higher from there now. By the time I took the trade, it was already like 115. This market closes at around 130. And it's not that it closes, but it settles at 130, meaning that anything after 130 is post-settlement trading. And during post-settlement trading, there's usually a very, very slow type of trading, and volume just pretty much dies out. So I knew the risk I was taking, and I knew I probably wouldn't get much out of the trade. I did manage to get at least just 1 point. I had 3 points on 4 contracts. So I got 2 contracts long at 38 and then 2 contracts long at 37. You can see it traded as high after my fill at 40.60. My average, I believe, was around 37.50, and it traded as high as 40.60. So there you go. There's the 3 points I talked about. But I didn't take it off at that high. I actually took it off for 1 point.
Crude oil actually
the reason being, I was looking for a target up here in the 43 to 45 area. But on this bar right here, the 2 o'clock bar, 1:30 we were trying to sell this bar right here,
70 to 80.
We see this big tail, but this tail was a lot longer. I mean, we traded all the way up there and then traded pretty much to make this bar into a doji. So I'm like, you know what? It's a big selling tail. I don't want to be part of it. So I took
30 minutes after the report, and when we traded,
I took 1 point out of the trade on 4 contracts. Comes out to $400. So not a bad trade at all. Could have been a lot more. Wish it had been a lot more, but I'll take whatever I can get.
First move,
a profit is a profit, and that was the trade here in gold. But as you can see, you know,
resistance and support.
The market profile, I don't just draw lines. I use values based on market profile, and this one was a value area low. Lo and behold, happens to be the low of the day
one such level
for today.
30 minutes after the number, we weren't really looking, so I didn't have any position on this one.
And finally, we got the 30-year bond. And this one, I had an order here. I canceled it. Just simply because you know the market was just trading sideways all day long. You know what? I don't want to be surprised later if it does sell off or probably continue to go lower. You know, me and the 30-year, we have this weird relationship, right? Where sometimes I'm right on the trade and sometimes I'm wrong. But most of the time, I make 0 to no money trading the 30-year. So I figured if I don't get in early on a trade, I don't want to get in at all. So D-shaped distribution here.
Come across a day where we
for most of the session.
Value area. What if we come on a day where
remember D-shaped distribution is a
now we're seeing
consolidation pattern. So
low on the volume profile and a value area high.
You know, it might be hard to recognize for those of you who are new to market profile, but bringing it back to something more familiar like candlesticks, consolidation. What is consolidation? It's just the market trading sideways.
Right now we have
so look at the candlesticks.
Somewhat a little
see
bit
how they're trading sideways.
We have
so that's a D-shaped distribution, and then a B-shaped distribution is a trending down pattern. And here's your trending down pattern. Right? There's your B. Right? A little bit of consolidation here, a little bit of volume.
Now we have
that's your B-shaped distribution now. Our software for NinjaTrader 8 is so wonderful. You might not have to guess any longer as to what profile shape you have. All you can do is just very simply, with the click of a mouse, pretty much decipher and take a look at the distribution shapes yourselves. Right? We have a D. Followed by a
crude oil market, we were looking
very nice and simple trending down pattern.
990, that's where we had a value area low. The market made it very close.
Not looking to get long on a trending down pattern. This would have been the place to get long, but once again, you know, it's not really.
In fact, we're probably looking to go for the 51.
It was too late in the day. I mean, but around 1 o'clock is when the market got down to these levels, and I said, yeah, it's too late. This market closes in 2 hours. It's not going to bounce back from there. Also, I mean, they've been selling it all day long. And it's mostly been profit takers.
The idea
on this day, we traded a lot lower,
the idea was
but institutions were buying a lot. Okay, they were buying like crazy. This was the holiday, so we're going to skip this day. Not a lot of institutional flow on that day. And then on this day, as the market was trading higher, these guys were selling, which means whoever got long here was profit taking and continued the profit taking today.
At the
TWAP, so you can see we consolidated.
Kind of went against us,
tons and tons of institutional selling.
Here, went lower,
even if it's selling to close, it's still selling, right? And if you sell something, the price of the asset should fall down. So that should be another reason as to why I didn't want to take this long, especially that late in the day. So far, it closed at negative 15,000 balance. Still, I don't think it's fresh selling. I think it's profit taking. But because profit taking is the same thing as selling, it's not really the time to get long at the moment. The institutions are taking their profits and they're selling. You know, why should you be buying? I think the market realized that and finally pushed lower from there. All right, so that's all the time I have for today. Those were some of the trades I took for the day.
We had a trending down pattern, so we figured let's try and.
What I like to do now is, for those of you who are watching this for the first time, I'd like to invite you guys to the website www.themarketprofile.com. Claim your 14-day free trial, and you'll watch me trade live every single day for those 14 days, for those 2 weeks. You'll watch me trade live every single one of these markets, plus other markets as well. I don't just trade these four. I trade the S&P, I trade crude, I trade the euro, I trade the yen, the NASDAQ, sometimes even the Russell, and many other contracts.
Here we had a balance. Nice B-shaped distribution.
And also, you'll also watch me
drop to the downside in the consolidation.
Manage these trades live, real time. So you'll watch me pretty much. I'll teach, and you'll also watch me use the indicators in order to find these areas of value where I want to get long and get short. And I'll also teach you the strategies that we use based on market profile every single day. So definitely swing by www.themarketprofile.com. It's free, 14 days. You know, see if this is something that could work for your trading.
Which we have right
here. Other than that, if you guys like this video on Facebook, make sure you guys click like, and if you want to comment or have something to say, definitely leave that in the comment box below. I hope everybody has a great rest of your day, and I will see everybody again tomorrow. Thanks, guys.
Back and forth, sideways. So early this morning, we noticed we had a B-shaped distribution, right? When we use our tools, using the market profile software that we have, we can split the distributions and notice these shapes. So if I split right here, in fact, if I split right here as well, right here, combine these two, we had a D followed by a B, and this was by 4:30 in the morning. By 7 in the morning, we had already established a B. Okay, D followed by a B, followed by a B. Switch it over to the hybrid view, and it's a trending down pattern, right? B-shaped distributions are trending down patterns, and here we can see that. What are we doing? We're trending down. Right now, we're not trending down very harshly. We're trending down very slowly, okay? And sometimes these are the safer trades rather than trending down harshly, like kind of how we had here. But of course, there wasn't enough time to really trade the trend day. But anyways, when we have a trending down pattern, a B-shaped distribution, or a trending up pattern, a P-shaped distribution, we want to be buying with the trend, okay? We want to be buying VWAP on a P-shaped distribution or TWAP, okay? Volume or time. On a B-shape, we want to be selling volume or time, okay? So we figured, hey, it worked here early, very, very early in the session around 4 in the morning. They sold it at VWAP, made a new low. If it can make it back to VWAP, that's where we're going to sell it. So I got in here for one contract and one contract only. I like to place one contract on VWAP and then multiple contracts on TWAP. TWAP is more conservative, whereas VWAP is more reactive to price movement, because VWAP is a volume weighted average price. Volume increases and decreases depending on the market activity. Time, on the other hand, or what a TWAP is, time weighted moving average, does not, you cannot speed up or slow down time, right? I always say that. You can't speed it up, you can't slow it down. So we were looking to buy small at VWAP, a little bit larger at TWAP. We got to VWAP. I got short there, one contract, sold it off down here, good for 3 points. That's 30 ticks. Took a little while after the market closed. Well, after the market settled, and yeah, made a good 30 tick profit on that one. And that's just one contract that brought about $300 of profit. So it just goes to show that you can still make a really good profit even if you have a small account, right? Even if you're trading one contract in the futures market, you can still make a pretty decent living. I know in the stock market it's a little different. It's hard to make money with 100 shares. It doesn't matter what stock you own. Okay, 100 shares it's hard to make a lot of money doing that. But with the futures, with just one contract, the leverage is so great that you can really make a good trading plan and have a good profit plan as well, even if you're just trading one contract. I began with one contract and eventually grew my account and started adding another contract and another contract. So little by little, right? It's not the sprint, it's the marathon. Okay, taking a look at the 30-year bond. This one brought a pretty good trade here today based on value. Switch over to the profile view. There we go. So today we had a D-shaped distribution. We also had an inside day. If we take a look here, today's range early this morning was trading inside yesterday's range. So we were looking to sell a value area that we found here. So if I go ahead and split this distribution right there, we can see I've just created a balance between volume and time in this profile as well, using the value area high as the resistance level. And this is the area I wanted to start selling. So 07 to about 10, 54.07 to about 54.10 is what we were looking to sell. I took the first trade at 57 at 07, and then I took the other trade at 11, and I was short at 09. Okay, on average I was short at 09. Prices went against me very quickly, almost took a stop 10 ticks above 09, which would be 19. The market didn't quite make it there, reversed and then traded lower. So I was able to take 9 ticks on this trade on 2 contracts. Comes out to a pretty nice healthy $500+ trade, and decently in the money on that trade as well. So I pretty much broke even for the day. I was down about $800, and I was able to recover those $800 trading gold for $300 and trading the 30-year for another $500. So it's a struggle sometimes, it's a grind, but you got to keep trying, and you got to keep diversifying your portfolio per se. If one trade isn't working, try the other contract, and you're bound to always have a winner no matter what using the market profile. You just got to know which markets look the best and which ones to pick. We do really, really well trading the S&P, the NASDAQ, crude oil, gold, and the 30-year bond. And I've actually been doing really well lately trading the soybean market as well. So let's go over the NASDAQ here. The NASDAQ had quite the wild ride. And, the NASDAQ was down almost 1%. So we got to be careful with the NASDAQ. I know everybody likes the NASDAQ and everybody wants to trade the NASDAQ and all that, but we got to really be careful with the NASDAQ because the NASDAQ has a mind of its own, and it's based on an index that is largely compiled of technology stocks. So it's not very diversified, where the Dow futures are, the Dow 30 is a pretty diversified group of 30 stocks, and the S&P 500 is also a very well diversified index or basket of 500 stocks. Right? You have in the S&P 500 you have like 7 or 8 different sectors, and if one sector is underperforming, another one is performing, and then you have another one that's underperforming. It's almost a system of checks and balances, but you can have days where all sectors fail and a day when all sectors are on the rise. But having that balance between technology and healthcare or materials and staples, it helps balance out a market and prevents it from selling off because only one sector is selling off, right? If they're all selling off, the market goes lower. If they're all rallying, the market goes higher. But if one is underperforming and the other one is not, they create a balance between themselves, and we don't have, unfortunately, the kind of volatility we would like in that type of market. But in the NASDAQ, we have that type of volatility almost every single day because of that imbalance between diversification, right? All their eggs are mostly in technology stocks. So if that sector is selling off, you best believe the NASDAQ is going to sell off. I mean, the S&P just managed to trade lower, create a 9-point range. Meanwhile, you have, 80 all the way down to 20. About a 60-point range in the NASDAQ, which is a little larger than expected, especially when you take the difference between the NASDAQ and just the relative difference between the NASDAQ, S&P, and the Dow. Okay, so in the NASDAQ, we were probably looking at get long 55 to 50. That was kind of a level we chose for an overnight trade. Other than that, the level failed. But the NASDAQ has just been trading really weird lately. I mean, it's sold off a lot more. It's probably finding a top, right? And it's probably going to pull back, and I think the rest of the market is going to pull back with the NASDAQ. It's going to create great buying opportunity. Volatility is going to increase, which is going to create awesome trading opportunities as well. But ultimately, I don't know what catalyst is going to either take us down in the short term or make us rally in the short term. It's really hard to pinpoint at one event and say, yes, that's the one that's either going to take us higher or lower. Okay. And, that lack of knowledge, nobody knows, but everybody is certain that the market is probably, there's nothing to worry about in the market. The market's probably going to continue to trade higher. Or at least everybody's going to be waiting for the next rocket that North Korea launches, because we know that every time they launch a rocket, it's probably one of the greatest buying opportunities. People have already started making jokes that Kim Jong-un is buying the market every time he releases a missile. It feels like it's kind of true, right? It's stupid, but it feels like it's kind of true. Nobody's fazed by the fact that we could be headed into nuclear war. And until the word nuclear war is, until that is officially declared, the stock is just going to continue to brush off any threat created politically or geopolitically. So the NASDAQ, this first level failed here, and we weren't really looking at any other levels underneath because we would have to travel so far back in time that we won't know whether there's real valid support at some place or another. But here, 59 and a quarter to 59.20, that was the bottom of the day. I had no trade here in the NASDAQ. And then finally, soybeans. We were looking to probably get short 976 to 78. We've been trying that for a while now. And we were also looking to get long between 58 and 57. which again we've been trying for at least 4 days now, including today, and the market just kind of remaining in a sideways kind of day, which creates pretty good trading opportunities to get short and to get long. The only danger with those trading opportunities is that if the market decides to trade higher, it's probably going to go higher, or if it wants to trade lower, it can probably trade lower, right? That's the danger when you're trading inside of a channel, a direction or a breakout to the upside or breakout to the downside. So the soybean trade just kind of boring at the moment. Haven't had a trade in it in a couple of days now. Anyways, guys, that's really all the time I have for today. And again, as a reminder, the indicators are ready to be downloaded. They are available for the NinjaTrader 8 platform. Get your 14-day free trial of each indicator: the market profile and footprint indicator, which is this bad boy up here, and then the cumulative tick indicator, which is this bad boy down here. 14-day free trials of each. We are one of the few NinjaTrader vendors that provides, a free trial of our software. Definitely check it out. Hope you guys enjoy it. And it's a 14-day free trial. Why not? Check them out. I'm sure you'll fall in love with the indicators. They're really great stuff, especially for the futures traders. Anyways, guys, that's it for me today. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did like the video on Facebook Live, make sure you click a like. And if you have any questions or comments about our indicators or how we trade the market profile, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. Everybody have a great day, and I will see you guys tomorrow.